how to get your spouse or partner to go in with real estate investing if they're skeptical, if they're hesitant, if maybe they're questioning your dreams and goals. That's what we're talking about today. I'm joined by my spouse and partner, Andrea. Together, we own 258 rental properties. We own 3 different businesses together. And, when I started off as an entrepreneur, I quit my job, charged up my credit cards, and flew out to California to meet with a mentor and start my first business. Took massive risk. Andrea was fully on board with me at that time. When I told her, hey, we're not doing the stock market thing, we're not doing 401ks, we're not doing the traditional investment route, we're going to go all in on real estate investing back in 2020. We bought our first property. She was fully on board with me there. So we get a lot of people who reach out and say, I want to do this. My spouse, my partner is unsure, is uneasy, has questions, concerns, and doubts. So we're creating this here. I think the first thing you have to do, and obviously you work with a lot of people who struggle with this, is understand their concerns. Like, real estate comes with risk. It's not passive like the stock market, right? What do you think worries most people about real estate investing?
It's really interesting having this conversation because I do deal with a lot of couples, right? One spouse, without a doubt, is always like, yeah, I get it. Like, let's go for it. Like, what's the down payment? I got, like, we have the money, let's go buy it. And then the other one's like, wait, I don't quite get it. Because, like, as we've discussed so many times, there's so many different benefits of it. There seems to be like one spouse that's kind of going off of like the cash flow, right? Or something like that. Like one metric of it.
They're just like spreadsheet analyzer.
Right, correct, yes. So if that one metric to them doesn't make sense for that property, they're like, why would we do that? So that's what I see a lot too. So I think with it being so multifaceted, I think it's like you have to understand each piece of it.
What do you think the biggest fear is? Like, hey, it just doesn't make money? Or
no, I think the biggest fear is that 9 out of 10 times a big chunk of money.
The down payment.
The down payment, correct. If we're talking single family homes, at least 20% down. So that might be a big chunk of their savings to go into this house. If we were talking multifamily, at least right now, you're talking like 30 to 35%. And then those properties, at least the clients I'm helping with, are at least $1 million. So again, a big chunk of their savings is going into this property. I think that's where a big fear comes in. We have to invest a big chunk of our savings into this one property. So is this a smart investment?
What I challenge people to ask themselves, is a 401k really safer? Is the stock market really safer? Like, you're putting, maybe not all at once, like you could do like dollar cost averaging, or like a 401k is like automatically like taken out of your paycheck. But is that really much safer? Because you have no control over that. Where I push you guys, you're listening to this, I'm hoping and intending this, like the partner who is like gung-ho grabs the other partner who's uncertain and is like, let's listen to this together. You have no control over those other vehicles though. You have to invest. Like, if you just save money, you're going to go broke because of inflation. Like, you have to invest money. I think what people like about a 401k and stock market, it's out of their hands, and they were always told to do it. So is a 401k really much safer? You come from a very conservative family. I come from a bunch of yokels and loudmouth Italians. Your family was very by the book. Go to school, go to college. Your father did extremely well for your family. So did your mother. And I remember I met with your dad's wealth advisor, and he had that big chart of the Dow Jones. And it goes down and it then goes up. And he's like, it always goes up over time. So just be in the market long term. Was it hard for you when I come into your life and I said, we're going to be entrepreneurs, we're not going to have jobs, we're going to create our own financial future, and we're not going to bet on the stock market or a 401k, we're going to bet on real estate?
I think the hardest thing and like the challenge with that was you were alluding to, of like, when you're in a job, they're just like, here's what you do. You kind of like blindly listen to that. As a teacher, they'd always hit you at your lunch hour. The wealth advisor would come around at lunch while you're trying to eat your who knows what in your classroom for 10 minutes. They're like, by the way, let me sit down about this 403B. And you just hear numbers and letters and you're like, okay.
But everyone's doing it.
And everyone's doing it, right?
So I should do it. Herd mentality. We are forcing you guys to think outside the box. I challenge you right now. You have a 401k. Tell me 5 things your 401k is invested into.
I mean, I didn't know anything about it until I took the money out of it.
Right.
I had no idea.
And tell them you had to go through 3 people.
Correct. That one advisor was just for one account.
And then there's the person who's actually investing the money in the firm. So, I mean, you guys have no idea what your 401k is really into.
And granted, this was my second year of teaching. So again, it's all so new, but there's a lot to be educated on. And there was no education piece. It was just like, this is for teachers. So this is what you do.
Follow the blueprint. Don't ask questions. Stay inside the lines. Work for 40 years. then retire at 65. Like, who deems 65 as this magical year that then you get to go enjoy your life? The problem with our society and with our education system is it is designed to teach you to get a job, not to be financially free and successful and wealthy and happy. It's so antiquated. It is designed for the 1950s. You work for a company provides where you get a little house right next to the company. You work there for 30 years. They provide for you in retirement, and that's it. But in 2025, that is so outdated, which leads to the next point that education creates awareness and awareness precedes change. What I want you guys to do is, if there is a partner who is more into it, you have to involve the other partner in everything you're doing, because we see this is where people go wrong. The one partner is like, I'm reading the books, I'm listening to the podcasts, the YouTubes, I'm going to the events, I'm hiring the mentor. They don't get it. So leave them over there and I'll just go do it. That never works.
And I have to say, like I said, with the couples that I work with, the other person, it's not that they're not on board. They're just not as educated on and passionate, maybe might be the right word for it. So again, it might take some time for the other person to get involved and learn about it. But I think that's the biggest point of it.
Because as humans, we fear what we don't understand. So the other partner doesn't understand it because, like you said, they're not naturally passionate about it, so they shut it down. Then the other partner just continues down the path and it creates a gap. And the bigger that gap gets, the harder it is to bridge it. You guys have to do things together. One concept I love is net, no extra time. You're in the car together, listen to a real estate podcast, listen to our podcast, listen to other people's podcasts. If you watch a good YouTube video, watch it together and then have a conversation. Go to an event together. Live events change lives and proximity is power. When I started my business coaching for my telehealth business, you would come with me. I would fly to California to meet with my business coach, my mentor, and then I would go to these events. You would come with me as a school teacher. You didn't always understand in the beginning what we were talking about, but you sat and you became aware and you saw. I think you saw too how hard I was working. That built trust in the process, because as humans, we fear what we don't understand. So involve your partner, no extra time in your day. Learn together, grow together. Something we always say is you grow together or you grow apart. And then get a mentor. You're gonna pay one way or another. People think, well, I'll save my money and I'll do it all on my own. You're gonna keep your money, but you're gonna keep your problem. I talked to someone today. He's like, I've been in 3 masterminds. I haven't bought a deal. So you've been in 3 masterminds and you haven't bought a deal. What does that tell you? Education isn't the problem. Application is the problem. Applying it. So maybe more education isn't what you need after a certain point. You need someone to walk it with you. That's what a mentor does. A mentor walks the journey with you, but puts you in the position to be the driver's seat.
Anything that we've put into it has always saved us money or made us more money. Like I would say, especially in like the real estate, it's saved us tenfold. So yes, we might have made a large investment to a real estate coach, which we have, but what we have saved us in the long run,
Millions.
I don't think we could put it on paper, but we listened and then we took action to it.
Correct. So. You said 2 important things. So we paid $35,000 2 years in a row for a mastermind. So 70 grand. In multifamily, making $70,000 is not that hard. You learn one thing, you can make your money back like that because it's all on a multiple basis. It's not how much money is it costing you, is how much is it saving you. Like that's like a you problem. Like I can tell when people reach out and the first thing they ask is how much is it? You'll never do it because you're so price focused and you're so loss focused. How much is this going to cost versus what can I gain out of it? And that's a you problem. That's an abundance problem. That's an investment problem. So if you're not going to pay 10 grand to get a coach and learn how to buy millions of dollars of property, you're not going to buy millions of dollars of property, most likely. Number 2, though, you have to learn how to apply it to you, because we've been in the masterminds and they're like, but we're syndicators and we own 4,000 units. You guys have baby deals, sell those baby deals. Now we're going to apply what matters to us because we own 100% of our deals.
Right.
So you own 4,000 units and you own 5% of that and you're dealing with all these headaches of investors. We don't want those headaches.
Right.
So you have to know how to take and apply to you. And that just takes awareness.
Correct. Yes.
Right? That takes awareness and confidence, because people who lack confidence just kind of follow everybody else. And there's nothing wrong with being a follower. You have to be a follower before you're a leader. You have to truly know you want out of it, which leads me to my next point, which is start small and low risk. This is your category here. Start with house hacking, a duplex. There's a guy coming to our mastermind May 16th. He owns 3 duplexes and he house hacks one of them. Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Smart. Start small. Talk about starting small. Do you have any examples of couples who have started started small and then have grown bigger.
There's countless examples of that I have, because I would say majority of my clients, 9 out of 10 investor clients, start with single family homes, and that's 1 to 4 units. I mean, it's not a bad place to start, because I always say, like, these deals are very, very easy to sell if it's just not for you. If it's not for you, yes, of course there's costs in selling and buying and things like that. But at the end of the day, like, you gave it a shot and you see if it's for you on a smaller scale. I just really advise to start at that level as a couple, especially if this is really new to you, because that's what we did. I like to speak from experience and client experiences. Anyone that's done that, they've had really great success. We started with a single family home and then the home that we lived in.
The person who starts with 1 to 4 units is lapping the multifamily investor who joins 10 masterminds, spends 5 years and buys nothing. Imperfect action always beats any sale. Can you tell a story of someone who started small and then got into a bigger asset?
Yeah, so I have one right now. They started with a duplex. They bought that last winter, spring, and then this spring they're closing on a 12-unit deal. So again, it doesn't take long, but again, it's one of those things that gave him confidence to buy that duplex where he was at that time. Like, as far as, like, again, goes back to down payment, right? Being very aware, like, where he was comfortable starting with. He is comfortable starting with a duplex, gave him the confidence to a year later start going into 12 units. So I've also had clients that sell their single family homes to, like, 1 house and going into, like, 4 units, duplexes. Again, that is still a step up.
Once you're in the game, it's so much easier to grow. The next part is address the money issue. So many couples don't talk about money. We've seen this time and time again. Very successful business owners, very successful individuals are like, we never sat down and talked about money together. We never looked at a P&L together, like our personal P&L. Before we ever invested in real estate, you'd run P&Ls on our life.
Yeah, we did constantly. Yeah, we've always had I know you don't like the word budget sometimes.
Financial infidelity is a real thing. If you hide purchases from your partner, if you hide investments from your partner, if you hide money things from your partner, that is trouble in the making, right? That is turmoil in the making. Number 1 cause of divorce is money or lack thereof and disagreements on money. If you both suck with money, you probably shouldn't buy real estate, because real estate is managing income and expenses, managing a budget. I've openly said what makes us so successful is your ability to manage the NOI, scrutinize the expenses, and increase the income. Would you agree, like, knowing what you know now, running $40 million portfolio, if you can't keep track of your own money, if you can't budget your own money, like, how are you going to budget real estate?
Yeah, and I would say that's any business. If you can't budget your own finances personally, it's going to be very hard to budget them for a business.
And I feel that's why people do the 401k, because they don't have to think about it.
Right.
They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to analyze where it's going. They automatically pull it out of your paycheck. But if you defer the responsibility of your financial future, you can't complain when you're at the end of the road and it didn't work out the way you had hoped for. Success begins with personal responsibility, guys. Self-mastery begins with self-honesty. And if you're not honest with yourself, with your income, your expenses, your budgeting, and your investing, you can't complain with where you end up. Something else that drives me nuts with a financial advisor. So you go to JP Morgan, you go to Morgan Stanley, you go to Fidelity, whatever. They'll take your money. Every time they move your money, they charge a fee. Every year they charge a fee to watch your money. But if they lose your money, they don't owe you anything. How are you okay with that? Like, if our building goes up in flames, we don't want that. We get an insurance check as long as you don't light it up yourself.
Right.
You know, someone crashed a car into our 8 unit, blew out an entire wall structure. We get an insurance check for that. Last thing I would say is take the first step and lead by example. So if your partner is betting on you and you're like, hey, trust me, I can do this. Like, I got this, like, believe in me. Are your actions congruent to that? Are there other areas in your life where you said, I'm going to go do this, but you didn't?
Like the track record,
yes.
right?
What's your track record?
So the partner that might be a little bit hesitant, where I've seen, again, it's like they have success in so many areas of their life. So it's not that they don't believe in their partner's ideas or something like that. It's a little foreign to them.
Yes.
But again, like, the track record proves, like, hey, this is going to be like a good investment, a good idea. Because in our relationship, I was the one that was like, wait, what is this real estate investing? But again, there was so much track record of good business decisions, good financial decisions. I'm like, well, okay, then I don't think we can really go wrong. Let's start smaller and learn about doing this.
Like Andrew said, she saw me accomplish things in business business. She saw me congruently do what I said I was going to do. So start with you. Follow your commitments. Get in shape. Wake up on time. Work out. Be healthy. Discipline in all facets of life translates to business. Be a habit-based individual. Be congruent to the words you say. Build the track record and confidence in your partner, because maybe they don't not believe in real estate. Maybe they don't believe in you. You hear people who are like, money isn't everything because I had nothing and then I had money and I was so unhappy. I was so miserable. I was depressed. Yeah, because you were there, because you brought you along. You did not change. Real estate in itself is not going to change things for you. You have to change. We always say you bet the jockey, not the horse. Who's behind the property? Like, any of our properties in the wrong hands could be a horrible situation.
Right.
So it starts with you. As always, thank you so much for being part of this. Hopefully this gave some insights. If you have a partner who is maybe on the fence and unsure about it, we gave some helpful insights here. We gave some tools and some tactics. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? We invite you to join the conversation. So drop a meaningful comment in the comment section. We would love to hear from you. Was this valuable? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are there questions you guys have? Let us know. Put it in the comment section. If you need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out to us. If you want to learn more about working with Stephan Group Real Estate Brokerage, again, husband and wife duo who loves the game, lives the game, breathes the game, reach out to us. If you're looking for more one-on-one mentorship and coaching, like we talked about in this episode, we do offer that to select individuals from time to time. So click the link in the description below. And if not, you want to start with more free resources and more learning, we got you covered with that too. Watch another video, grab some free masterclasses and trainings and books and all those great resources in the description. Until next time, we'll talk soon. Thanks.